Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm joined by gorgeous Hillary, who is going to be my beautiful model, and we are going to be comparing the two cameras yet again, EOS R5 and the EOS R6 that I have here. I'm going to be putting them to test side by side inside of this room to just see what the photos look like, which camera performs better and so on. Before we get into this video, make sure to check Hillary out. She's going to be linked in the description below, and make sure to subscribe to my channel and click the little bell button to not miss any of my future uploads. And let's get right into the video. Psst, you all know what's coming. This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in platform that will help you make your dream website, portfolio, or an online shop become a reality. Squarespace has hundreds of beautiful templates, so you will definitely find something that suits you and your personal style. You can build a professional portfolio website in a matter of hours, and you will be able to customize it every step of the way, so it's so you that nobody can deny it's not. As we all know, social media presence is power, and with Squarespace you'll be able to auto-post all your content to Twitter, Facebook, or Tumblr with proper tags and descriptions. Finally, Squarespace helps you with the marketing. They help you with SEO, as well as some plugins for Instagram stories and so on, as well as share buttons so your followers can give you some juicy shoutouts on their social media. If that sounds like something you'd like to try, make sure to go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and once you're ready to go, use my code squarespace.com/Anita to receive 10% off your first purchase. Quick disclaimer, this video is going to be more of me testing out the R5 and the R6 side by side. This is not a very technical review. This is more of me just playing with both cameras and seeing what I think about it. There isn't going to be a lot of technical tests or comparing specs, so if that's something that you're looking for, this is probably not a video for you. But if you'd like to see how I take the photos and how the cameras perform in similar situations, then please keep watching. This is a very interesting light situation because we're kind of backlit and we don't have that much light coming through here. But it's still, both cameras handled pretty well. I'm shooting on 800 of a second, 2.8 ISO 100, so it's not bad setup at all. Perfect. So yeah, we're getting very nice soft light throughout the space. Obviously the back is a bit overexposed, but that's okay with me. I'm gonna change into f4 now. Sorry, what did I do? So yeah, I think the main thing is because I don't want to have too much sky in the background because it's very bright and overexposed. I'm trying to shoot up a bit higher, but because of that, we're kind of, I don't want to make my model look shorter, so it's kind of just like this fine balance of trying to work in between two. But so far, both cameras are performing really nice. I love the R5, I love the R6. Both of them are very, very solid choices. So the focus on both cameras, I have to say, is really good in terms of like eye detection and so on. Gorgeous. Yeah. For this particular photo shoot, I wanted to test out how the cameras would behave in a backlit situation where the light was obviously behind the model because we were indoors and there was big windows letting a lot of light in. It was obviously pretty bright because it was around midday, working towards the afternoon, so we had to keep that in mind. And I was wondering, how are we going to recover the highlights and the shadows and so on? And I have to say that both cameras did a solid job at that. Both cameras recovered the highlights and shadows pretty well. They worked with them beautifully, so I was really happy about that. Also, in terms of focusing, I didn't have any issues from either of the camera, which was a massive plus. Neither one of them struggled finding the eye or anything like that. And I also made sure to shoot on a higher f-stop because I really wanted to capture the essence of the place where I was staying. It was by this beautiful canal. There was lovely little houses around, or apartment buildings, I guess, but it was just a really cute scenery that I really wanted to capture in the images. That's why a lot of them are taken kind of further back and just having the model kind of a bit more incorporated into the shot rather than her being the absolute main focus of it. The main difference that I noticed between the two cameras was definitely the color grading. I find that the R5 colors were a bit nicer for me. As I mentioned in the other videos, it might have something to do with missing color profiles in Lightroom. I had to purchase external ones, and you know, it was made by a developer, so it could have had something to do with that, but regardless, it did make my life a bit easier to color grade the R5. The R6, the colors were a bit different, a bit more washed out almost, so it's interesting to kind of see and investigate. I know that there's profiles for Capture One. I'm just not super familiar with it yet. I'm still learning, so it was just easier for me to go with Lightroom because I was way more familiar, and it was easier for me to just adjust them this way. I'm super excited to announce I'm going to be launching 2 new preset packs for you guys next week. If you would like to get them and get them at 30% off, make sure to subscribe to my newsletter. You can find the link in the description below. This offer will only be available for people that are in my email subscription, so make sure to join to not miss it. So interestingly enough, when I take photos on this one, which I find very interesting, is I'm shooting on the 6.3 and when I look into the camera it looks very blurred, but then when I see the final photo it actually isn't blurred. So this is f2.0, we'll do f4. Gorgeous. Yeah, that's really nice. So we're getting tiny little reflections. Oh, I love that. That's really nice. In this particular test, we were shooting backlit, and my apartment had these beautiful big windows where we were shooting the model and all the light was behind her. I really wanted to capture the spirit of the place where I was at. It was this beautiful little canal, and we had loads of little buildings and so on, so I really wanted to have that in focus as well. That's why for the majority of the shots I used a higher f-stop. I shot it around 4 to even 6 f-stop because I thought that it would work a bit better, and I find that it worked pretty well. It preserved the highlights and shadows really well. Both cameras really did well on that aspect as well. I think maybe if we try one where you're kind of like this or something. Let's see how that looks. Shooting in the R6. Gorgeous. Lovely. You have it not as straight, have it a bit more bent. Yes, perfect. Yes, that's lovely. Love that. That's perfect. That's really nice. Can you do just this, but let's move you closer to the window. Yeah, that's great. So now it's kind of nice to shoot on the live view because I can see much better. Beautiful. Yes, that's perfect. And even from the distance, the eye detection is actually pretty good, so. One thing that I definitely find superior in the R5 and the R6 versus my 5D Mark IV is the focusing system. I think the focusing system in the new mirrorless cameras is absolutely amazing. I think it does such a good job with picking up the face and picking up the eyes, even when it comes to different light situations. Even if the situation is backlit and maybe you can't see the eye as clear, it still picks up really fast and really efficient, so I really appreciate it. Yeah, beautiful. So we just have a very simple setup. The light that we have, so we have a backdrop here behind our model, just to make sure that it's kind of nice and backlit. We are shooting on 200 of a second f2, so it's pretty bright, so it's just like nice and overexposed, and then we have those shots here. Gorgeous. Bringing in some really nice like light from the side. So we have like this little light on the floor here. Can you sit down on the floor just like here, so like facing me this way with your legs? So your head this way and your legs this way. By the time I was recording this video, I got to test out both cameras quite extensively. I got to put them against my 5D Mark IV, and I do have to say that I do see both cameras' strengths and weaknesses. However, I find it kind of hard to justify buying the R5 and paying the extra money. I find a lot of the time people buy it for the file sizes, but for me it's kind of a downside because the files are really big and it takes a long time to transfer and it kills your hard drives really fast. I guess it does force you to stop shooting as much and be a bit more mindful about the amounts of shots you take, but I do feel like the R6 would be better in that instance for someone who works for social media and online, because the file size is definitely way smaller. It's basically almost a half. Also, in terms of the price, if I was to get the setup that I was shooting on that day for the R5 and the 28-70, it would cost me close to $7,000 versus buying the R6 and the lens, which would be around $5,000. So there is a big difference in price there for sure. I'm just trying to think about what camera would be better for me, considering that my 5D Mark IV I've been using for the last 6 years. So for me, when I buy a camera, I use it for years and years to go. So it's definitely a tough decision. So it's kind of cool. We're kind of getting the whole neighborhood at the bottom. Yeah, it's gorgeous. That's really nice. One of the selling points of the R5 is the fact that it does 8K video footage. However, for me personally, I would not really use it because first thing first, I feel like not a lot of people are able to watch the 8K footage. So it's kind of pointless, and I also feel like it would absolutely, again, kill my hard drives. I only have this much space. I only have this many 4TB drive that I would like to buy in a year. So I find filming on this kind of resolution is kind of pointless for me right now. Maybe in a few years' times for sure, but at this moment I don't think I would be interested. And I have to say, colors in both cameras are really great. They are really strong, and I definitely enjoy color grading the images afterwards, even though Lightroom still doesn't have the color profiles and they're still missing, which is still a bummer because I am recording this video 4 or 5 months or 6 months after the camera has been released, so I don't think it's going to be coming anytime soon. However, I still found profiles that worked and that I was able to use, so that's all good. All night long, yeah. We dance with our razor tongues and all day long, yeah. I would love to hear back from you guys. I would love to know if any of you have the R5 and the R6. How are you finding it? Do you wish you got the other camera instead, and so on? So definitely let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about them, if you have any tips or suggestions, and I would love to read about them under this video. Okay guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much, Hillary, for being my gorgeous model. What did you think about the photos, guys? Which ones did you like more? Did you like the R5 or the R6? I still can't decide, still making up my mind, but let me know in the comments down below which one do you prefer. Make sure to check Hillary out. She's going to be linked in the description below. And if you did like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. And you go on, nah, nah. No love on a holiday. No love on a holiday. Click the little bell button, blah blah blah.